Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is Green Voice here, and in today's video I just want to talk about one health myth that I have seen people push various narratives around it. And here I'm going to start by citing some stories that made me to come up with this whole video. If you haven't subscribed, please do well to subscribe, watch this video to the end, like it, share it, and drop your comments. With this, welcome to my channel. Now, when I was a child, a woman told me that if you have peptic ulcer and you want to get it cured, you want to get rid of it, you just have to boil cocoyam and eat. In fact, preferably eat it when cold. That was from that woman when I was still a very young child. In 2020, I was in a salon, and the salon has a barbing section. So the barber didn't have a customer, and then he came to the salon section to gist with us. And then from one gist to another, he mentioned that what cured his peptic ulcer was back of plantain. Like, he went to his village, went to a plantation in his village, got the back of plantain, blended it and allowed it to ferment, and the juice that came out of it, he had actually admitted that the juice was very awful, bad taste, smelling, but he still took the juice. And after taking the juice, he went straight to bed, and then in his sleep, his late father came to his dream and told him that that was the solution to his problem. And ever since then, up until the moment he was giving us this story, he never had ulcer again. Now, last week I was in the market to pick some vegetable, and here comes this woman again telling me that I should get water leaf and then get jute leaf. Jute leaf is a wedu leaf. If you're Nigerian, you'll be conversant with, especially if you're from the southwestern part of Nigeria. So it is used, it's a popular vegetable there, used in preparing soups. Okay, so the woman told me if I get the jute leaf and water leaf, blend it and extract the juice and drink it, if I have ulcer, I'm gonna say goodbye to the ulcer. First and foremost, what I picked from all of this before I made this video was that all of this is just somehow a state of mind. The mindset. Their mind tells them that by doing this, they are free from peptic ulcer. Now, I sat down to ask myself, if truly, see, for the context, I didn't ask for any of this. It's just a product of various discussions when you're interacting with people and they are sharing their knowledge, they are gisting with you, they are talking with you. From one gist to another, this whole thing came up. I didn't ask for any of this. I don't have ulcer, and if I have, I know what to do. Okay, now, if truly that maybe I don't know what to do, I'm just naive about my health entirely, and these three options came before my table, what do you think? If you are the one, which option will you take among this? Now, I'm here to tell you that before any drug makes it to the market, there is such a thing called clinical trial. Like Emzo paracetamol, for instance, it took them years before they were able to produce this popular Emzo that people now abuse for anything. You just go take Emzo for any slight pain, whether it is for it or not, you take Emzo. Somebody didn't just wake up, I want to produce paracetamol, bam, and it's in the market. Before a drug comes to the market, it passes through like five clinical phases, phase 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, in fact, there is even a preclinical before the clinical stage, and that is it for any scientific knowledge. Before someone will tell you that this is a risk factor for this or this causes this, it has been proven through various trials, through various stages. Sometimes it is started with animals like rats or rabbits in the laboratory before it makes it to maybe people with the disease or people with healthy, people that are healthy, people with the disease, before it can be backed up, like before they say this causes this, you don't just stand up and say this causes this. You must have tested it and it has passed through various stages. Sometimes people that are used in this experiment, some of them die, and that will stop that process. I don't even want to get into it because there are some ethical concerns about that, but I'm just telling you that it is not these things that science, that medicine talk about, is not just by voicing things. These are series of trials, and medicine is evolving. It is not the medicine that we are practicing today that people practiced decades and decades and decades ago. There is always this, is subject to change, and those changes are still backed up by scientific knowledge. So tell me why somebody will just stand up and say that plantain stem or juice or jute leaf and water leaf. You can imagine the taste. The jute leaf is already very slimy, combined with water leaf that is also very slimy. Imagine what the product is. I don't know. Anyway, whatever the product is, had it been that is the actual way of curing ulcer, it would have been in the market. I want to tell you first that ulcer is not caused by some of the things you think it's caused by. One of the things that cause ulcer is H. pylori, Helicobacter pylori bacteria. It's a bacterial organism gotten basically from unhygienic food and water. Any other thing around it is just a trigger. Like if you already have it and you did not take care of it, just know that things like highly acidic food like lemon, ginger, alcohol, they trigger it. Spicy foods like very peppery food, they will trigger already existing and not properly handled peptic ulcer. And then this idea that once you have ulcer you have to eat. Let me tell you, there are two forms of ulcer. There is the gastric and the duodenal. I don't want to go too in depth because you didn't pay for it. Anyway, I'm just joking. But one is actually triggered by eating, while the other one gets subsided, like gets managed by eating. So peptic ulcer is gotten by eating, by Helicobacter pylori organism. So when the organism comes there, there's a mechanism around it that lets it secrete juice, this hydrochloric acid in the intestine, and it, of course, it's as the acid erodes the lining of the stomach, then coming up with the ulcer. So when you eat something very peppery, it's a wound. Ulcer is just wound. Just imagine dropping pepper in an open wound, or dropping something very acidic like lemon or ginger paste or something, ginger juice. It's going to heighten it. All right. And treating treating ulcer is not by taking cocoyam, it's not by taking jute leaf and water leaf, it is not by drinking plantain juice. No, you have to seek medical care and stick with the advice of a doctor. Before someone becomes a doctor, the person must have spent 6 years, and even after spending 6 years, the person must keep working, keep training, keep updating knowledge. So I'm not trying to dispute herbal knowledge. Now, for the context, most of the drugs we consume is also a product of some of the herbs around us. I agree with you, okay? But it's not just by getting the herb and taking. First, you don't even know the dosage. Some of the toxic substances in the herbs have not been removed, so you're just packing everything. At the end of the day, you're even going to worsen your whole situation. And for the guy that used plantain leaf, and for the guy that the lady that used the wedu and the jute leaf for their own, the thing is this: you might even worsen the problem. You know why? These processes, nobody is assured of the hygiene. Remember I said dirty food and dirty water. I'm just using a very a basic knowledge so that you understand what I mean. So imagine this person going to the village and maybe one native doctor with very dirty hands, very dirty environment, prepares this and gives to you, and then it's even fermented and you drink it. What are you trying to achieve? In this day and age, there is access to information everywhere. Like everything you need is on the net. Before you take in anything, make your research. Make your research. Anyway, I don't want this video to be too long. I will continue this gist in another video on another topic. But for now, just know this about ulcer. The things that trigger ulcer are peptic food, acidic food, excessive alcoholism, and all of that. But ulcer itself is caused basically by the organism. Now, there are people who are more prone, some certain blood groups are more prone to ulcer. Anyway, let me stop this video here because I'm equally running out to go to work. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe, like, and share. And don't forget to take care of your health. If you have any question, ask me in the comment section, and I will see you in the next video. For now, have a nice day. Bye-bye.